Just when you thought it was safe to go back in the water, from the depths emerges another YouTube video from that weird serial killer looking guy who makes terrible jokes. Just like Kaiju, The Reckoning.
Hello, I'm Bookface. I sure hope that edits into something that sounds more entertaining than just me going, I am in the camera. Microphone, I mean. So, we're talking about sea monsters. In short, this video is the reason why we never go in the ocean, ever. Right, people? Am I right?
You right.
I'm right. See, the ocean holds some truly massive creatures, and ones that people don't even debate exist. People are like, yeah, that's a thing. And we're just like, all right, sure. So it only makes sense that a place with actual giant nightmarish creatures would be a place where people could imagine or see some even more truly massive, horrifying creatures. And we're going to talk about a few of those today. Also, an odd coincidence came up. Initially, I was just trying to make this giant monsters, but also ocean monsters. But I also accidentally made it medieval monsters, too. So these are all medieval sea monsters, which was not intended. These were just the ones I picked. So, weird coincidence, I guess. And with that out of the way, let's jump right in. Woo! First up, we have the classic, the Kraken. I wonder if I'm going to put something dramatic there, or if I'm just going to, the Kraken. This is a creature noted from medieval times and also Scandinavian myth. It was called a number of different things, but my personal favorite is the kraken. Just because, hey, I'm crabbing here. And this creature has been described in various ways. This dude Pliny, who I guess he was old, nerd joke, that it had a long jelly-like body, long tentacles, and a sharp beak. Okay, so I put a beak in my drawing just because, you know, that's how actual squids eat. They have beaks. I didn't realize that was actually a detail in the Kraken's description, so thank you, Pliny, for justifying my creative liberties, and also taking out the creativity, I suppose. It was often described as having horns or little fins coming out from all sides, which helped it grab onto ships that it was trying to sink. Okay, time for edition of I didn't write this in my notes, but I know it's a thing and I wanted to say it. So, there are three creatures that mainly contribute to the description of the Kraken. One, obviously, is a squid. Another one, very commonly, is a crab, which I was not anticipating. But a third one is, I believe at least, usually a whale. And that might just be from the fact that it's a big thing in the ocean. But I tried to incorporate all three of those in my drawing of it. I wanted a creative interpretation. Anyways, the Kraken was known to sometimes float on the surface to bask in the sun and tended to rise from the sea on hot days for that reason. And as you probably guessed, this thing was giant, possibly measuring miles in length, and sometimes even being mistaken for an island. Aye, Captain, this island be looking kind of, fleshy? Are you into that? People would know the Kraken was around if large schools of fish would just sort of disappear, which definitely sounds like the ominous thing in a horror movie before big monster shows up. It was believed this creature actively targeted people and was believed to be capable of taking out an entire fleet of ships. It was thought it could grab ships and pull them underwater or create these massive whirlpools to sink ships. I would not want to go in the ocean. Plot twist, these were stories made up by the sailors, not because they were drunk, but because they wanted to be paid more. And they're like, hey, there's a Kraken out there. Give me more money. You want to face the Kraken? I don't know what accent I'm doing there. Next up, we have a creature who has possibly one of my favorite names in myth, Pongo. It's like Pong and Bingus, which is a creature from Sicily, and also from medieval times. So my reference, and granted I only had like one or two references, so it's a bit of an obscure thing, describes this creature as a cross between a land tiger and a sea shark. Now either I am fundamentally misunderstanding what tigers and sharks are, or adding the land and sea parts were a bit redundant, but hey, maybe they're padding time like I do. Pad the runtime of this video, bam! Pad the read time of this book, bam! Free real estate. So this creature basically tried to make Sicily completely unlivable and ate more than 500 people. This thing was just going full I mean, Terminator and its deadliness, but Terminator didn't really take out large masses of people. Well, I mean, Skynet in general. It wanted to kill everybody. Eventually, though, it was killed by the 3 sons of St. George, which isn't that such a nice family bonding activity? No more board games that make you rage at each other. Instead, pick up a sword with your brothers and
rage against the beast that kills man.
And lastly, we have the Scolopendra, a creature that I know at least for being difficult to look up because Scolopendra is just the scientific classification for centipedes, possibly like millipedes and other such creatures, I'm not entirely sure. And the Scolopendra in myth was described as a giant sea serpent from medieval times in Europe. Now it had a lot of different details, believed to have a shark-like body, several winged... wings. Oh god, it can fly now. Several webbed limbs, a fish-like tail that was usually kind of shredded a bit, hairy nostrils, and a blowhole like a whale. Of course, no centipede features. Maybe that's why it has several limbs. Maybe that's being like, yeah, it could be a centipede. Who knows? And there wasn't much about this creature, only that if it got caught by a hook, then it would spit out its entire stomach and then reconsume that stomach and then just swim off, I guess. And I think that seems a bit excessive. Maybe just don't bite random hooks dangling in the water. Maybe that's just a me thing. Maybe I'm crazy. Maybe this fish is smarter than I am. Are you smarter than a fish grader? I don't know if that was one of my best or one of my worst jokes. And that's how I like to have it. And there we have 3 giant sea monsters. A lot of fun. A lot of fun to draw. Little artist tip for you. If you draw monsters in the ocean or just in water in general, you usually don't have to focus much on how they're posed or positioned because they're just floating in the middle of the frame anyways. So, hey, have them posed, positioned any way you want them. Be doing a backflip. It was underwater. Not much else to say about this other than ocean is scary. If you like this video, please leave a thumbs up, comment down below, and subscribe. And I will see you next time. Bye.